A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back to some more HGN Season 3. Now, I feel like that what we got here, as we're basically closing into the final weeks of HGN Season 3 entirely. To tell you the truth, I plan on finishing this whole thing up by the end of 2023. So, let's stick around for that whole thing, because you definitely would want to see what the final episode is like. Anyways though, number 2261 is going to be about tree sap. After all, Jurassic Park turned 30 years old. I feel like it's not only important that we discuss the various things about tree sap and how it's basically become more than just a cultural phenomenon, but it's also become a bit of history in its own right. Tree sap, as we know, has been around since trees themselves were first around. It's an extremely tacky substance. Technically speaking, sap is known to be the usage of various different agents and other materials. It can be harvested from certain parts of a tree, especially if they're aging, as sap typically does show up most often during that time. When a tree ages well enough, especially pine trees, then that's basically where we can find the most sap. And to tell you the truth, sap really is quite a bugger. A real big bugger. It's gotten stuck to me in various ways, and it's also been a pain to clean up. But on the flip side though, I find that it smells amazing for what it is. It probably is no wonder why it is, in fact, a usage of various different deodorants and whatnot. It's also worth mentioning the fact that Dr. Squatch actually does use tree sap, or amber as it's been described as, a basic solidified form of tree sap itself. Because after all, way back in the prehistoric ages, it was common to find large chunks of tree sap that would dry up and harden over time, becoming a solid mineral-like element. But unlike what we've seen from the likes of certain jade or emerald or lucite, certain minerals and gemstones that have in fact gotten their way from pretty much being a liquid in its own way, especially with the formation of volcanic activity. After a lot of time passes, that's where we eventually get a hold of gemstones and other such rocks and minerals. But we know that amber itself was mainly due to the formation of tree sap having aged for millennia and possibly even longer. Then of course, there comes that famous moment in Jurassic Park. Mosquitoes get stuck inside, preserve the DNA of various dinosaurs, and combined with the frog DNA, that's what creates the phantoms of the future. Big ancestors of the past now brought to the present. Otherwise, it is quite a big, twisted story that's more than just a historical phenomenon. So, thanks for watching this piece.